Gold Key Adventurers.
On this occasion of your birthday, this lovely lady is not only punctilious, but punctual.
Gold Key Adventurers.
Marilyn Monroe.
The Gold Key Adventure Society.
Happy birthday to you.
Gold Key Adventurers.
For all the things you've done, the battles that you've won, the way you deal with
Flo's V8 Cafe.
and our problems by the ton. We thank you so much. Everybody, happy birthday! Ladies and gentlemen,
The Gold Key Adventure Society.
That was seamless.
That was so
I couldn't
amazing.
tell where her voice stopped and whoever's voice came in.
The production values are incredible.
So great.
Does this mean we're going to be assassinated?
Oh, I
Gold
hope
Key
not.
Adventurers.
Lady, my wife is here.
Ah.
That's good.
Happy
Wow.
birthday, guys.
Happy
It's been a whole
birthday,
year.
guys.
Yeah, happy birthday, everyone.
1 year of this drivel.
What? It's been such a year.
I work really hard to produce this drivel.
Oh, yes.
It
And I
takes-
show
it
up.
and you're here.
It's amazing. I can't believe it's been a year. It feels like at least like a year and a month or
At least,
a year and two.
yeah.
Just
At least.
just
Feels
going on my
like 10.
feeling.
I still enjoy doing it each and every time we do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of
And
fun.
and the podcast is fun too.
Oh, zing.
Hey-o.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff's fun in
Jokes
with
like
us.
that to keep us going.
This week we're gonna celebrate by getting to know our audience a little bit more. I've got a whole great big list of ask me anything questions for you guys. You ready to
Awesome.
get rolling right into it?
Yeah. Hit me.
All right. This first question is a voicemail from Leah.
Who?
Hey guys, this is Leah from Blacksburg, Virginia.
from
I have a
Blacksburg.
question for you. I want to know how you all do your show. I know you guys are scattered across the U.S., and I'm just a little bit curious how you do the show together so seamlessly every single week. It's pretty cool.
Well, I do
Well,
the
the-
show under extreme duress every week, but
The first step is to have my neighbors start mowing the lawn as soon as we start to record.
I put my kid in the dog crate, bowl of water,
Yep,
don't
yep,
forget.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
key.
Well, it is through some trial and error. Dan Leonard, our amazing producer and host, has figured out the best way now. We finally found a groove that sounds better. What was the thing we used to use, Dan? That's
Zencaster.
Yeah, it's like Skype or Zoom. It's called Zencaster, but
Skype for podcasting.
that didn't work out so good. So now I taught all you guys a little bit about being sound engineers yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all have GarageBand going, which is kind of cool.
We record the track separately. We use a Zoom call so we can see each other for visual cues or
Inappropriate visual jokes.
Yeah,
Yes.
see that people are either frowning and telling you to stop or laughing and whatever.
And
I
to
can
hear each
tell
other,
when
too.
Or Jeff
Jess
is
about to
frantically
make a
waving his
TikTok.
hands because he lost his signal or the internet went out and I can't hear you.
Yeah.
So then when we start the recording session, we have to do a really super high-tech trick.
Very high-tech, yes.
So that all of our soundtracks line up when I go and put them all together in the computer. So I thought maybe we could show everybody how good we are at this super high-tech trick.
How good we are at this little thing.
So what we do is we count down and we clap 3 times, and I line up the claps later. So let's clap for it.
All right.
See how good we are now that we're live.
Can I just say one thing before we do this?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just now looked and I was not recording, so I just hit record. I started recording, turned off the metronome, and then there's no
You wanted to know how the sausage was made. Well, there you go. Badly.
This is why Dan also has a backup recording of the sound coming from the Zoom.
Yeah, we have Zoom recording.
2 backup recordings, actually. Well, I guess it's a good thing that we're going to clap then, so I can line up
Jeff
Jeff's
forgets
recording.
to hit record many times.
Well, yeah, why did the metronome come on if it wasn't recording?
I do not know.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Anywho.
All right.
Anyway, well, let's clap for the people.
Okay, let's clap.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, that one was not good. Was that
I think
on
that's enough of
purpose?
that.
That's about on par, actually.
Yeah,
for how
yeah.
we do each week.
That's all.
Fixed it in post.
Yeah, fix it in post. Then after that, I take everybody's files out of Google Drive and I do a whole bunch of stuff on the computer to make us sound awesome.
Take out
So
the white
good.
noise machine that goes in my office, or
Yeah.
the lawn mowing maniac next door.
Yeah, so for people who may not know, maybe say where we're all recording from. I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
I'm
I'm in
Birmingham,
Caledonia,
Alabama.
Michigan. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. I'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we use these visual cues to
Yeah.
keep from talking over each
We're really
other.
good at that.
Heather, where are you from?
Caledonia, Michigan.
And I'm in Granville, Michigan. So through the magic of the
And
internet,
I'm in the trunk.
through the magic of the internet, we sound like we're all in the same room together or something like that.
Someday we're all going to be in the same room for an episode.
That
That'll
would be
happen
nice.
someday.
Nah.
Yep. Next, I've got a few questions that my sweet wife sent in from through email.
Why don't you do the dishes more? Oh, for us, not for you. Okay, sorry.
She doesn't email.
Disclaimer: I do not think that my wife sounds like that.
I'm not saying she sounds like that. That's what my wife sounds like. Oh, just,
Oh, good thing she never listened.
she hasn't listened for a while, so we're.
Oh, brutal.
My family doesn't either, so we're safe.
No, mine either.
How did she know to send in questions then, Jess?
Because I made her.
First, Kendra asks, if you could live in any other country, where would you move and why?
Japan.
Yeah, Jess is going straight to
I'm
Japan.
going to Japan.
Have you
Is there any
visited there?
particular thing
No.
you want?
You might try that before moving.
No, I'm good.
Just
I want to live in Strasbourg, France, right at the intersection of the France and the Germany.
that is a good spot.
It was
yeah.
a great city. I visited there, and it's metropolitan and has all the cool concerts and things you want, and good train system running through the city. And then, like, right across the bridge is Pinocchio's village, like crazy-looking old Europe.
Yes,
Super cool.
Perfect.
it is cool. I want to move to London.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good call. They speak English over there.
they do. They do.
That is
Yeah,
key.
Sort of. I mean,
Yeah.
kinda.
I love London.
Yeah. I would like to go to England also, but not in the city. A couple years ago, Kendra and I got hooked on a series that was on Netflix called Escape to the Country, where it was kind of like House Hunters, but they would take British people and show them houses out in the
Oh,
countryside.
fun!
You
Wow.
That sounds cool.
know, like
I love House
200-year-old
Hunters.
villages.
House
and all
Hunters
those
International
old-
is my favorite.
Has a bit of a garden in it.
yes. Done it.
Yeah, I've lived in France, so I'm ready to try a different country, and I think London is my and all of England really. But I just love the vibe, and London's groovy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
And then you can take little trips out to the
groovy,
quaint
baby.
countryside. Yeah.
Kendra also wanted to know, have you ever gotten in trouble or had a bad experience while traveling? And then she had an example that she wanted, or that she shared. Apparently she went to Germany
She did.
after her junior year of high
Yep.
school for like a German class trip, and she met up with some German boys
Oh.
one day while they were, and
Are there Shiza videos?
No. Oh, hey, that's my wife you're talking about.
That's my sister.
And Heather's sister. They were very nice boys, apparently. And they went to a cafe, but they didn't realize that they were out after the public transportation stopped running.
Whoops.
And the hostel... They didn't show up back at the hostel at curfew time, and their teacher called the police. And there was a whole bunch of
I
cops out
forgot
looking
about
for them.
this story.
So have you ever had any mishaps while you're traveling?
If your teacher on the field trip has to call the
Call the
police,
cops on you. Well, we were in Paris. Was it like 2 summers ago?
that was the story I was going to tell.
Oh,
The
good.
ticket?
Yes. Take it away, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
No, we had gone out to the Lido, which is a beautiful, beautiful
Cabaret with boobies.
Yeah, yes, lots of boobies. Very high class cabaret on the Champs-Elysees. And so there had been some champagne. We'd done a lot of drinking of so many champagnes. And we were heading back to the hotel on the metro. And this part I'm not clear on. How did your metro ticket end up in Aaron's mouth?
No, other way around.
Is that my internet?
What?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Who is?
Oh, yeah.
Dan is.
You've got to be kidding me.
Dan's frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was just very intense.
I can hear him, but
Dan, say something.
I can't hear him now. Uh-oh.
happy
And this
birthday
folk,
to
this is just
Right?
It's a year of excellence, guys. This is a year of excellence.
year of overcoming technical difficulties.
no.
And
And he's gone.
ooh,
Ladies and
he's the
gentlemen,
host.
we are now a 3-person show.
Do we need to log out? Let's check your phones. He may be missing.
Can he come back in if he?
I'm right here.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. He's back.
You changed positions in the Brady line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like you down there.
This is awesome. So you want to pick the story back up? I don't know
Okay,
where
yeah.
we left off.
So I'm a little confused on the details. Aaron's metro ticket somehow ended up in your mouth?
So on the way to the Lido, we took the metro, and when we made a stop or changed stations, we didn't have to re-show our ticket. And you were talking about how you never have to show your ticket.
Almost never.
So, but on the way back, we had to change from one station to the other. And she had finished her ticket, and so she was saying something about, do I need this ticket anymore? And I said, no, you don't. And I took the ticket and
Grabbed
I put
it
it in
from
my
her.
mouth as if I was going to eat it. Yes. And then as we rounded the corner, literally as I was doing that, there was a Chief Inspector Clouseau was waiting there for...
Well, seriously, in the 2 years that I lived in Paris and took the metro every day, I never once was stopped by what they have these random checks just to make sure that people are not,
That way, if you have jumped over the turnstile
Yes,
in one station, you're not just hopping around.
Apparently, it's very common if you're on the commuter lines, because my husband says he encountered it all the time. I never once had to,
Yeah.
and had
And I had
literally
never
just
been on it.
said, you never have to show your ticket again. We turn this corner.
So we were
and
drunk, and I was stupid and just put it in my mouth. I wasn't going to swallow it, but it was just a funny thing. It's like a little carnival ticket, little small ticket.
So then you have to show your ticket to get.
So he goes, we need your ticket.
Further.
And so I pulled it literally out of my mouth. And he goes, what is this? He could somehow tell we were American.
What has happened here?
Oh, that's
I
what it
believe
was.
what he said.
What has happened here? And I said, well, we
Aaron's
thought we didn't need it anymore. And he goes, so you put it in your mouth? Well, kind of. I said, we have other tickets we can give you. And he said, no, well, once you've scanned this one, you can't scan another.
Oh, but she got one of her other unused tickets out to show him.
Oh, that's
and
what, yeah.
just to be a dick, this time it's me saying dick, he snatches it from her and rips it in half so that it's no longer good. Just because he can.
Yeah. Like, dude, we have one stop away and then we're leaving.
They,
Should have been
they
like,
let,
I'm
Last
practicing
night.
for my one-man show. I'm a ticket machine.
they let us
Yeah.
go, and they didn't give us a metro violation.
Yeah, we didn't have to go to Metro jail.
It was pretty funny, though.
What has happened here? Okay.
I was going to say that you should have tried to convince him that you were David Blaine and you were doing some elaborate.
some street magic.
Yes.
Calm down, Clouseau. We have plenty of tickets.
Jess, have you ever had any big trouble on a trip?
No, I'm a responsible adult.
Have you ever had a flight canceled, delaying you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I ended up having to spend 2 days between California and Texas on my way back to Virginia, but that wasn't my fault.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Don't fly American.
Your fault.
No. They're the flows.
American Airlines is the flows.
It is. It really is.
My mom doesn't know the story, so sorry, Mom.
This is going to be good.
Before going on the big motorcycle trip out west with the Outer Vibe, we decided that we should take a slightly shorter long trip, and we were going to go to Niagara Falls on motorbikes, which isn't that far from Grand Rapids area.
5 hours.
I had a valid passport. I could not find my valid passport, so I was like, all right, I'll drive with you guys as far as I can, and I'll turn around before we get to the border crossing. You guys go have fun in Canada, and I'll drive back to Grand Rapids. And we were crossing at, is it that Port Huron? A little bit north of
St. Ignace?
Detroit. No. Okay,
no,
so
St. Ignace. But Port Huron is the one
north of Detroit by Frankenmuth. And there was a lane to get onto the bridge to cross the border over into Canada. I got stuck in that lane because sometimes you can't get over when you need to. So I was stuck on the bridge, and there's not a place to turn around on the bridge once you're headed towards Canada. I could not. So I got there, and they were waiting in line to get up to the Canadian border to show their passports, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. And
what am I going to say?
For some reason,
I'm just coming with my friends to the border.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Well, but for some reason, instead of
telling the truth,
instead of getting all the way to the border and being turned away, I could have played dumb and said, "Oh, I didn't know I had to have my passport."
Right. Yeah.
Turn me around. I decided to just move one of the traffic cones dividing the lanes each way and pull into traffic heading back into America. And when I got to the border, the American border crossing, they were not very happy with me.
Did they see you do it?
No, but they wanted to know how I was coming back from Canada without my passport, and I explained why, and I was detained at the border for about 2.5 hours.
Full body cavity search?
Yeah. No, they just took me into the building and asked me a whole bunch of questions about
why you're a dumbass?
Why am I such a dumbass? Why did I think it was okay to not follow the rules? Why did I think it was okay to move a cone and go the other direction? And
oh no!
These are
move
government cones, Dan.
I know. They took my driver's license, and eventually they just let me leave. So
that's reminding me of another on the way back from that same trip to Europe that we were just talking about. Ticket thing. We scanned our passports as you. Or no, I guess we scanned our passports
coming
on the
back
way in that little machine. And Heather said, "Oh, I noticed yours turned red, but I didn't notice." And hers went beep, mine went beep. We went on through, and then when we went to the little window for the immigration thing, she got through and then just kept on walking while I got stopped.
He was behind me, and I didn't notice that they stopped him.
Yeah, they were talking to me for a long time, and then he kept saying things like, "Where have you been? And where all did you go?" And I'm like, I'm clearly being stalled here while he's typing the whole time. And then an officer approached me from either side so that I couldn't run one direction of the other and grabbed me by the arm and marched me into this little room where they just sat me down and kept inquiring as to which all places I had been and all that. But apparently I had not been... they were looking for another... It
was your name got flagged as being on the no-fly list.
They just held me for about 25 minutes. We had a kind of a tight connection anyway, and they held me for about 20
ended
minutes.
Up calling Air France to get the
they called down to the gate to get the manifest, and I was, in fact, on it. But I don't know what was going on with it.
It was weird. By the time... Yeah, because once you get through, once they've checked your passport and you get through, you're not supposed to stop. You have to keep going. There's officers there. So by the time I was able to stop and turn around, and he was just gone. What is happening?
Yeah.
So I went and got our luggage. You have to go claim your luggage and then recheck it. And then there were 4 of us traveling. The
others all got luggage.
What's going on?
I was not going to make that connection, but as I came out, I got the Delta alert that our flight was my connecting flight was delayed. Yes, I've never been so happy for
that was in Detroit, right?
Detroit. Yeah. But that was weird because they were super rude and mean, and then never gave me any explanation. Said, "Okay, you're free to go." Like I kind of was free to go anyway. But
I would like to know why you detained me.
Oh.
But they don't tell you anything. They just said you can go. But I did hear him call the gate and ask for the manifest.
That's fun being stopped at the border.
Yeah, so fun.
It's a little scary.
Would you guys rather go on Survivor or The Amazing Race?
I've never watched either one.
Amazing Race, probably, because I'm not going to sleep on bamboo rack of
Exactly. I love to watch Survivor, but on The Amazing Race, at least you get a bed to sleep in, and you're visiting lots of different cool countries.
Mm-hmm.
In The Amazing Race, if you're miserable, it's probably because you're a jerk and you're making yourself miserable.
Exactly.
On Survivor, they're trying to make you miserable.
Yes,
that is right.
You have no shelter and it's raining.
I'd love to play the social game of Survivor, but no, I couldn't deal with all that. Plus, all those challenges are very physical. And I know you can't tell on a podcast, but I'm a big, fat, sweaty guy.
Some of the challenges on The Amazing Race are physical, but they look fun. There's always someone has to bungee jump off of something to weed out the people who are afraid of heights.
I would go on Big Brother before I'd go on any of them.
And typically the food challenges on The Amazing Race are not something super disgusting. Like there was one I saw where they had to eat a giant plate of schnitzel. No, it was schnitzel and sauerkraut and drink a giant beer. And whoever did it the fastest.
Wednesday at the Williams house.
Right.
Calm down.
I'm going to say that since I've seen neither of those shows, not even an episode, I'm going to say I'd rather be on Cake Wars, but I like to bake. So
yeah, I want to go on the Man versus Food.
Oh God, that guy had to stop doing that.
He was so afraid for his health.
He had gastric
I want to
blockage.
talk to that guy. Let's get that guy as a guest. Write that down. Let's see. Will you take your wife to visit the silos in Waco, Texas someday? I think this one's for me, and I'll handle that.
I was going to say, what?
Oh, is that the
dishes?
Flipper flop? What is those people?
The fixer-upper people.
Fixer-upper,
yes, sweetheart, I promise someday when it's safe, we'll go to the silos. I've got another voicemail for you, and I have no idea who left this voicemail because they didn't introduce themselves, so take it away.
It's a fan, you guys.
Yeah. Take it away, mystery fan.
Hi, guys. I have a question or a couple of questions for your anniversary AMA. I was wondering, since there are so many festivals all the time at Epcot, what's everyone's favorite festival? Also, for those of you who like cruising, which are your favorite cruise lines? What's your favorite cruise that you've ever taken? Thanks so much. Happy birthday, everybody.
All right, so favorite festival.
Food and wine.
I think all of the festivals are the exact same. I think I like Flower and Garden because it's the same as the other festivals, but there's really pretty topiaries.
It is beautiful.
So it looks more pretty. It's more photogenic.
I'm going to say Festival of the Holidays because I really love Christmas, and I finally got to do it last year.
That is a good one.
It's so good.
I really do that one.
Because you get all the food like you would from Food and Wine and things like that, and then there's the decorations, and you get to learn about the different holidays.
They figured out they added the food booths into all of the festivals because, who doesn't
want to eat and drink your way around the world?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Dan, opinion?
I haven't done the holiday one, but that sounds awesome. I like the springtime ones. I think Flower and Garden maybe.
Flower and Garden is beautiful.
Yeah, the art one's pretty good too.
I was going to say I also like those interactive paintings you can get in for the festival.
Those are so fun.
Festival of the Arts. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We've had some really silly ones.
We kind of make fun of Epcot for having so many festivals, but honestly, I love it. I think that the World Showcase...
the only thing to do.
Yeah. The World Showcase just lends itself to that sort of a thing. I don't know. I love it. I like the food booths. And you're right. The art festival with the cool paintings and the cookie trail at Christmas time. It's all good. I love it.
Yeah, they need to just come up with a summer one and just
absolutely.
Do you know what I call my cookie trail?
I don't know if we want to know.
I don't.
All right, that's another episode.
That's an after dark episode. And favorite cruise or cruise line? I think was the other question on there.
I think generally Disney.
Yeah.
Disney Cruise Line is my current favorite, but I suspect I may become a Virgin Voyages.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I did
so
really enjoy. We did last year I had never tried Norwegian Cruise Line, and it felt so different than Disney. I absolutely loved it, and the food was more varied and plentiful. I think that was one of my favorites.
I do love NCL as well.
Felt a little more adult
Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of what I'm looking forward to on Virgin Voyages. Is it's just kind of like it looks like a floating all-inclusive luxury resort, which most of them, that's kind of the idea, but they're doing some cool stuff. I want to shake my phone and have champagne appear. So,
oh, is that on Virgin?
Yeah.
What if you're like on the treadmill?
I think they will still bring you champagne.
I want to know how many phones are going to be lost overboard. But
yeah, your phone's accidentally shaking because you're running on the treadmill. And there was your champagne, sir.
Oh, why? Of course.
You know me, I'm always on a treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, a reason to run. Yay.
Run to the champagne.
Yeah.
It's the old carrot and the stick thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's another voicemail from Brittany.
Hi, this is Brittany from Kentucky, and I need some advice. My husband and I are going to be celebrating a big anniversary, and I'm just trying to figure out where we should go. I'm curious, what is the prettiest beach you have ever been to?
Ooh, Turks and Caicos for me. Beaches, Turks and Caicos is just the most gorgeous beach. White sand and those turquoise waters. Love it.
I haven't really been to many pretty beaches.
Same here.
Oh,
my favorite is
sad,
Castaway
guys.
Keys.
Castaway Key is a pretty beach.
That's a good one.
That's lovely.
A lot of
Too
the
full of
places
people.
that we visited in the British Virgin Islands, and Tortola is gorgeous.
Yeah, we didn't
been
do
there.
beach, though. We were sailing around.
You gotta watch out for those pirates.
Yeah. That's what I love about the British
couple
Virgin
of
Islands.
all-inclusives we've been to. Oh, you know what? Tulum was an amazing beach.
Oh, yeah,
that was
is
gorgeous.
true.
We didn't have but a couple of hours to get to beyond that beach. And in fact, you never went down there. You were on a porch reading a book and falling asleep.
I went down to the beach a little bit.
But yeah, Tulum
there
was
was
gorgeous.
booze on
But
the
some of the
porch.
others, like the beach at the Grand at Moon Palace, was terrible, and it was full of seaweed.
Yeah,
And
we
it was
were there
about 3
during a
feet
seaweed
deep.
time. Yeah.
And then the beach in Puerto Vallarta was pebbly and not good.
Playa Mujeres Beach, I visited the Secrets and the Dreams in Playa Mujeres. That was a gorgeous beach. But nothing, I haven't found anything that beats Turks and Caicos. I've been to some beaches in Hawaii they're also gorgeous there.
Up here in Michigan, one of the I haven't been to a lot of beaches, guys. I've been to some lake beaches. On one of the lake towns here, Saugatuck, which is a really artsy little beachside town. There's it's called Oval Beach. It's actually been apparently in some publication voted the best beach in America several times. And it's
Oval.
Yes, Oval Beach, and it's right on. It's a round.
Roundish, like an oval.
I'm trying to think of a punny joke, but
oblong
I'm
circle.
slow. Yeah, no, it's like got the huge sand dunes, and it's nice and quiet because it's mostly, I guess, there's just not a ton of people going to that.
Honestly, I live in Alabama, 4 hours away from Gulf beaches. I think the sugar white sands of the Gulf, are as gorgeous as anywhere I've been.
Those also remind me of the French Riviera. If you want something a little more exotic, and you've done Caribbean, the French Riviera's beaches are beautiful, white sand beaches. Italian Riviera is gorgeous, but not the beach. The beaches are rocky and not as cool. The Cinque Terre is really cool to go visit, but not for the beach. If you want the beach, go down to Nice and
Yes,
sit.
I've heard it's very Nice down there.
It is nice. It is Nice and Nice.
Sorry.
My nephew loves it in there.
God. And on that note, what's the next question,
that's
Dan?
a very Alabama thing to say. We actually have a series of voicemails. There's a little bit of a theme developing here. We'll see if you can pick up on it.
Hi, this is Melissa Sunby. I am from Indiana, and I have a question for Heather. I have heard she's had quite the adventure at the airports and on the airlines, and I want to know what some of the craziest things she has seen while aboard an airplane. Thanks. Hi there. I have a question for Heather. I want to know about some of the strangest things and rudest people she has encountered while flying. I know she's got some doozies. I'd like to hear a few. Thanks.
Hi there. This is Erin from Colorado, and my question is, I would like to hear you guys' most outrageous airplane story. We all know people do crazy stuff on airplanes, and I want to hear what has been your most unique or crazy experience on an airplane. Okay? Thanks. Bye.
Airplane adventures.
My least favorite adventures.
Yes, I have encountered all of the rude people on the airplane. Top three number one would be all of the businessmen. They're the rudest people. Yes. Men who fly frequently for business. Somehow it seems to have, I don't know if they feel entitled because they're on a plane all the time or if they're just general jerks.
Yes.
But I have had coffee spilled on me. I've had an entire bottle of water dumped on me by a dude. And
they move your luggage to accommodate their own all the time. Move yours far away so they can put theirs right by them.
Because they need to have their luggage right next to them, and my suitcase is in the way, so they'll move it back a little bit.
That's
Number two are the people who love to take their shoes and socks off and prop their gross feet up.
I've seen a lot of that on the bulkhead, especially. They just put their gross bare feet up and spread their toes all over the bulkhead. Like, whoa.
I saw a guy manipulating the touch screen with his toes.
No, stop it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Gross.
Was this in the
Monkey
time
Man?
Of Corona?
This was not in the time of Corona. Thankfully, since the several times I've flown during the pandemic, nobody has behaved that way.
My worst was I sat down. I was in. It was a short flight, going to be between Atlanta and Birmingham, which is only about a 30-minute flight, start to finish. And the guy sat down next to me and immediately was like, "You want to get a couple of beers?" And he reeked of.
We're best friends now.
You want to get a couple of beers?
He talked. So I did the old put on my Beats headphones, like I'm blocking you out, and he kept like elbowing me. Hey, let's get her to get a couple of beers. And I'm like, well, they don't serve yet, so let's wait till we're going. And then he got up and went into the galley and opened the thing trying to get us a couple of beers. Now, we were in first class where the beers are included, but he just would not stop and wouldn't stop messing with people. And he kept like reaching across the aisle and grabbing the arm of this old man and going, let's party together. Like just total belligerent idiot.
So drunk.
And I'm signaling for the flight attendant, like, this guy needs to be cut off or whatever. Like, don't let him get alcohol. And she kept telling him to sit down. He would not do it. And finally, we were taxiing, and he was still doing all of his crap. And they just turned right back around.
But wasn't he also FaceTiming his wife while we're
taxiing back to the thing, he starts FaceTiming his wife just as we pulled back up and security came on
to take him off.
So he's holding his phone facing towards me while he's talking to security, and his wife. I could see his wife, who's laying in bed. It's like 10 o'clock flight. She's in bed, like, what is happening? My drunk idiot husband is FaceTiming
being
me.
removed from a plane.
I said, he's being removed from a plane because he's drunk and obnoxious. And so have a good night.
Enjoy.
And they let him off the plane. And then the flight attendant came back and got his stuff and took off. And then everybody clapped and cheered. And
yay, drunk idiot is off. This one isn't rude, but it was pretty gross. And this happened on my most recent trip. On the way home, I boarded my flight. It was a flight from, I think, Orlando to Detroit. And we had boarded, and the guy in front of me got up during the boarding process, got up and went into the bathroom and was in there forever. He's in the bathroom. The whole, as the plane is boarding, the flight attendant is finally like knocking on the door, like, we are going to need you to sit down. We need to go soon. And he finally comes out and he sits back down. No big deal. The flight attendants all of a sudden converge at the front of the plane and are having this discussion. Yeah. And then they let us know that we're going to be a little bit delayed because they need to have maintenance come on and look at the toilet. Yeah. So maintenance finally comes on. There's another big discussion. And then they shut the door and they put like this kind of like yellow police tape to tape the door shut and make an announcement that that lavatory is no longer going to be available during our flight.
And so that man was me, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know what this gentleman did in there.
Stories from Air Force One.
Yeah, it was clearly not good. And I was thankful that he wasn't sitting, he was not right in front of me, but the row in front of me was empty because right now they're keeping, like the first class, you can only have 50% of it full. And in the back, Delta is still blocking the middle seats. But so there was plenty of distance between me and this.
He came out soaking wet with blue water. I don't know what he was doing. That's the weirdest sink I've ever seen.
It was so. She's like, it's only a 2-hour flight, guys. If you really have to go, you can go to the back of the plane.
Oof.
Yeah.
Did you go peek? I would have to go take a look.
I'd be like, which area are you serving the food from? Because if it's
luckily
that area,
no food right now because of the corona. So,
right.
So I was on a flight when I was a kid, and it was one of the first flights I had ever taken. And I was probably like 7-8 years old. And there was a guy I remember vividly. He wasn't sitting right next to me, but he was like sitting a row over, and he was dressed in like a really vividly ugly colored like plaid suit. And this was like, the 80s. So it didn't even fit in for there. And I remember he got up and quietly went up to the bathroom, and he had a bag with him. And he was in the bathroom for a long time because I had an aisle seat and I was basically like 4 or 5 rows back from the bathroom like area. And when he comes out after 15 minutes, he's in full clown makeup.
What?
Like, and now like the suit makes sense, but like we're talking like he put the wig on and like full face paint, which is I guess what he had spent his time doing in there. He starts coming back, and I have never liked clowns. I'm not like super phobia of them, but like I don't like them. And so I'm just kind of sitting there wide-eyed staring at him, and he just sort of walks towards me, stares at me the entire time quietly, and then goes and sits down in his
creepy.
row. And I'm freaked out the entire time, but every time I turn and kind of like try to look at him, he turns and looks at me and just
and as he walks past
nothing.
you, did he whisper, "I'm going to kill you in your sleep"?
Yeah, I know where you live.
Are you sure this wasn't a nightmare?
Yeah, he finished with, "We all float down here, Jess."
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, that was, and it pretty much cemented for me that clowns are horrible.
Would you like a balloon?
Things.
I've gotten pretty lucky. Worst things that ever happened to me on a flight is a guy almost spilled his coffee on me, but there was an empty seat in between us, so it just
Nice.
got on that seat.
I always
The water
get
they use
the
for that
rude
coffee.
Businessman. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that makes me feel better now when they're ordering their coffee black, because I know that there's a good chance they're drinking poop coffee.
They're getting dysentery from the
Yes.
barely potable water they use.
They probably got some horrible stomach issues from their stress and
Yeah.
general demeanor.
I'm getting a little too used to the pandemic flying because it's delightful. Everyone has been. I haven't experienced anybody being rude or refusing to wear masks or anything like that. And the seat next to me is always blocked off lately. So it's been pleasant. No rude businessmen hitting me. I had a guy hit me in the head with his luggage and asked me to get out of his way. Like he didn't apologize.
Quit having your head there on
right,
your shoulders.
Like, you're in my way. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was in the way of your suitcase, you jerk.
Well, you're a woman. He's a very important business.
He was, yes.
That's true.
I can't stand the businessmen on planes. They're rude. But the feet is just gross.
Yeah.
Let's all just agree not to take our shoes off and put our bare feet in people's space ever.
Yes. Hi, Alex. I need you to go downstairs, please.
Does he have a question? Alex, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Question from
I can't
the
see
small
who it
child
is
in the back of the
'cause
room.
He's disappearing into the mountains there. I just see part of Dan.
Go ask Mama for help, please. Thank you. I've got a couple of questions from Teresa, who asks, what is one vacation you wish you could do over, either because it was so fabulous you want to relive it, or because it wasn't so great and you want a chance to fix it and do it right?
A do-over.
I'm going to go with my honeymoon. And this is not like an insult to anyone. When my wife and I got married, we were very poor, and we did not have money to travel. We basically had enough money to scrape together a wedding at a friend's beach house, and then we ended up basically just staying at the beach house for a few days afterwards as our honeymoon, and we ended up cutting it short because we needed to go back home and go back to work. So, so we've come a long way since then. But yeah, we're still kind of planning our second honeymoon to sort of make up for the one we didn't really get to do. So
that same thing happened to me on our honeymoon. We had no money, but my brother had given us a stay at a chalet in Gatlinburg up in the mountains in the Smokies. So we were trying to drive up to it through literally tornado weather. And when we got there were mudslides and the road was closed. And you couldn't even get to the little chalet development where it was. So we stayed at a crappy motel that my granddad knew a guy. And it was like the worst hotel you've ever seen in your life. And we stayed there for 3 days, ran out of money, and came home. Same deal.
Yeah.
The best trip that I would do a do-over for is the 10-day Southern Caribbean Disney cruise we did in 2017. Mm-hmm. There are certain people I would no longer invite on that trip.
Word.
Yeah. But the rest of it was amazing.
Every other detail was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I went on that trip with people to people to Central Europe the summer after my 8th grade year.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, and I don't know if I necessarily wasn't so great, want to fix it, but I'd like to experience that same trip as an adult where I don't have, like...
The stupid excursions that you did to the perfume factory.
Yeah, bad excursions, and also... like the adult leaders, chaperones on the trip, we were supposed to like keep a journal and write essays and stuff. So if I could redo that trip without having to do all that stupid crap. Yeah, exactly. Well, supposedly I was supposed to get a college credit out of the deal or something, or a high school history credit or something like that. It's stupid. So I redo that trip.
That's how they sell it to the parents and the school board.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. If you could be a cast member at Disney World or Disneyland, what would be your dream assignment?
Imagineer.
Ooh, good one. I want to work the Haunted Mansion.
Otherwise, I would never want to work there.
I think I'd want to do the VIP tours because you get to ride all the rides with the guests.
That's true. A lot of them really enjoy it. It's so walky and sweaty, though.
Yeah, but I do that if I'm there anyway.
True. Yeah.
If you could being like Tower of Terror or Haunted Mansion host would be fun because you get to stay in a good character.
Yeah, and you could sort of be a little rude without being, not really rude,
I met a woman one time she had the most elite position you could have. She was the head of food and beverage at Flo's V8 Cafe. Came out to speak to me personally and was bragging about the fact that she was the head of it.
Did not go as she had planned.
No, it did not.
Well, it might be fun to work in their test kitchen where they test all of not only the food but also the cocktails.
Yeah.
Nice. The Flavor Lab, I think, is what they call it.
Yeah, Flavor Town, USA. I think. That's Guy's Chicken Place.
Yeah. Chicken Guy.
Nobody said the Jungle Cruise. I'm a little surprised.
Oh, yeah.
The skippers are apparently like the cool guys on campus.
All three of you would make good Jungle Cruise skippers.
I think it'd be fun to do it once, but if I had to do it over and over all day long, I think it would lose its charm.
Yeah, it might.
Unless I could make my own very inappropriate jokes.
Yeah,
I think they frown upon it.
I could check the boat first. Be like, anybody here offended easily? No?
Yeah.
All right, we're doing this.
That's what you do after dark, right? They allow you to get a little blue after dark.
It's the Deaf Jungle Cruise Jam.
Hey, guys, this is a question for Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, this is Brian from North Carolina. Hey, I'm curious what shoes you like to wear around the park, walking around all day.
This must be a fellow sufferer of the plantar fasciitis.
The world's most awful plague.
Yes, that is true. I have finally settled on Brooks running shoes. They seem to be the best for my feet, and I got some custom orthotics. Nice. And then when I'm not actually walking in the parks, I love UFOs, which Brian that called in there turned me on to. He suffers from plantar fasciitis, and these are a recovery shoe that's specifically designed to cushion the heel and cup it and make it great for walking around the house. And the secret is never be barefoot.
Never again.
Plantar fasciitis.
Turns out plantar fasciitis, I think, is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff was suffering from it for about a year, and randomly one morning, actually was on vacation. I was at Disneyland. I woke up, stepped out of bed, and got this horrifying shooting pain in my heel that felt like I had stepped on a Lego, and I knew exactly what it was because Jeff had been going through it. And I think I texted you right away. I was like, I'm scared. I think I know what's happening right now. And he was like, okay, here's what you're going to do. And mine went away much quicker than yours. Mine healed much quicker than yours because I think I knew what it was and you told me how to fix it.
Yeah, I had to get custom ortho. Anybody can get it. It's usually temporary, but if your feet are in a way that is messed up and you just continue to damage your feet if they're not right. So I finally got orthotics that hold my feet in the right. And the lining, the muscle that runs along the arch of your foot and up around your heel and up into your ankle tears constantly. And it feels like what it would feel like if a muscle tears and then you're walking on it.
Yeah. Now I just can't I wear flip-flops around the house. And
yeah, I try never to be.
When you like to walk around theme parks as much as we do, you got to have your feet in good shape.
But I could not recommend the UFOs. They make shoes and slip-ons and sandals and flip-flops. They're great. OOFOS.
Do they look as cool as Dr. Scholl's?
What?
Do they look as cool as Dr. Scholl's?
No, they look fine. They look like
around in your senior citizen shoes.
I wear a lot of Vionics because they make a lot of really cute sandals and shoes for women that they don't look like they're good for your feet, but they actually are.
I also suffer from this as well, and Kurus
See,
are
it's
really
contagious.
good.
I'm telling you.
The Kuru shoes are really good. I left a pair on the Disney Dream last year.
Yeah. Those are expensive too. They're like
they are, and they were only like a couple months old. But
I have some of their sandals too. They're really very comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like to have to wear an athletic shoe with socks in the parks because my feet get sweaty. So I've had to find some really good Kuru sandals and Vionic sandals are work for me.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
This has been Feet Talk with Gold King.
Somebody
Quentin Tarantino is going to love this episode.
Hey guys, this next voicemail is a little weird. I don't know what to make of it. Let's see if you can figure it out.
Hello, this is your favorite hobo, Skinny Pete. And I heard it was time for an anniversary show for the Gold Sleeves Revenger Society. Thought I'd call in with a question for you. I'd like to know, what's your favorite ingredient for Mulligan Stew? Second part, why is it rat? All right, thank you very much. Watch out for cops and stay high on the rails.
Oh, Skinny Pete.
Skinny Pete. Yeah. Why is it rat?
What's your favorite ingredient and why is it rat? Yeah, rat is good. They're plump and juicy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was going to go with the potato, but...
No, we all know that's not it. You're never like, oh, this Mulligan Stew needs more potato.
It's so nice that people are remembering our anniversary.
Yeah,
I know. Congratulations.
We should track him down and get him as a guest.
That's the thing about Skinny Pete. He's a hobo. It's kind of hard to track him down.
What is he, a hobo or is he a...
I'm pretty sure
he's not a tramp or a bum.
He's a reformed tramp, current hobo. Aspiring ne'er-do-well.
Does he ride a train? Maybe he could stop one time and do a call-in show from one of his stops.
I'm sure there's a public library nearby. You can use their internet.
I have some more email questions from Sarah.
That's my wife.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm assuming there are a lot of Sarahs in this
Can you people please stop making him do this? That's her question.
She's like, no, this is wonderful. I get like at least 2 hours without him around.
Peace.
The ash is always there.
Sarah writes, hey guys, happy birthday. My name is Sarah from Richmond, and I have 2 questions. Number 1, which is better, the beach, mountains, or desert?
Ooh.
The beach. Beach.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Sorry. That's it. I quit the show.
I'm going to say, as long as there's a beautiful resort with a swim-up bar, the beach.
Yeah.
You don't see many of those in the desert, but maybe
It's
I guess.
true.
I like looking at mountains. I like being like in a chalet in the Smokies or something like that. But I'm not a hiker, so I don't care about any of that. I'm too fat to zip line, so I can't, whatever.
I've seen every single red rock in the American Southwest. I no longer need to go to the.
I would like to see some of that. I haven't seen any of that. Maybe not 8 days of it like Heather did.
Yes.
I hate the heat, so I've never been to the desert, and I don't.
But it's a dry heat,
Yeah,
Man,
I watch
it's
Breaking
dry,
Bad, and
but-
I start like getting itchy, and I'm like,
If you want to
That's the
feel like,
methamphetamines.
oh, that's
if
it.
you want to know what Las Vegas heat feels like, just go get yourself a hair dryer, put it on the highest setting, and aim it directly at your
Yeah,
face.
it's a dry heat, but it's just hot as shit.
Hot. So hot.
My personal ranking in order from best to worst is got to be mountains, desert, and then beach.
Wow, Dan's a beach hater.
It's just not my
Because he
favorite.
hasn't been to any.
We're taking you to a resort
That's
in
by
Mexico,
choice.
Dan.
Really.
That's this. We're going to do our live show from a resort in Mexico at
Yes,
the swim up
yes.
bar.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I said yes, but yes.
As long as I can go on
How do
one of
you
those
feel
cool
about it, Jeff?
underground river excursions.
yes for me,
then-
dog.
Then I'll go.
Yeah, we need to get you to the Hotel Xcaret in the Cancun area
Yeah,
because
you can do all that
it's a-
outdoor crap.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful, beautiful resort hotel, and then you can go to all those adventure
you can go
parks,
kayak while I
kayak and
I'd like to
zip
drive
line.
an off-road vehicle through a mountain of fire at night. That sounds.
That's
They
we
have
can
it.
get you that at that hotel in Mexico.
I would like to try every drink that has tequila in it. Can I do that?
I'll tell
Do
you
you
what
like
I love is
tequila?
boating around somewhere. We did that in
Oh,
Tortola,
yes.
just sailing around the islands, and I've done a couple of other. But I love being out on a boat. It like looking at the water. It's not all that hot. Man, is it great?
We did one once in Jamaica. Do you remember that one? They promised they were going to serve us lunch, but lunch was rum punch.
Lunch was just so many drinks.
That's the
was
lunch
like-
of champions.
3 hours of Jamaicans handing us rum punch. Wow.
I've
had a
never
dream
been
like
more
that
drunk-
once.
I've never been more drunk in my life.
It was so much
impressive.
fun. They had a DJ playing really loud tracks.
It was essentially a
great.
booze cruise, but it was on a huge catamaran with like 30 people all just getting wasted.
Yeah.
Very fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And apparently there was a beach.
Yeah, I think we spent some time on the beach. I don't really remember it.
Yeah, you guys got anklets.
Oh, that's right.
You mean they got arrested and put on house arrest?
No,
There was a lady on the beach selling, like
Beaded
those friendship
jewelry.
bracelet things.
Oh,
They got them for
Did she
their
braid your
ankles.
hair as well?
I vaguely remember that. We probably gave that woman way too much money.
Oh, yeah.
$40 American for a beaded anklet. I
And then
don't.
there was a Jamaican guy that was trying to get me to go into the woods to smoke weed with him. And
Yes.
I was like, I'm on a work trip. I'm not sure that's...
I'm not sure that's the best
Pretty
thing
sure
to do right
you're
now.
gonna murder me. So
Yeah, just come up here and give me $10 and we can
What
smoke.
happened to
I'm like,
Jeff?
yeah,
I don't know. We saw him going off into the woods. with
He went
this
into the
Jamaican
woods with
guy.
a local.
Sarah also wants to know, how did y'all get into the travel industry?
Oh, that is
I
a
did
good
it because
question.
I loved Disney. We took our son when he was 5, and I loved it so much I wanted to do it again. So I planned that trip, and at the same time helped 2 other friends plan a trip, and then realized, hey, maybe I could make $1 or $2 doing this. So I searched and found the travel agency where Heather also worked.
That's kind of how it happened for me. I had my kids were very little, and I had given up my corporate day job to stay home with them. And I have always been a huge Disney fan and loved planning trips and was planning them for friends. And somebody said to me, you should make money doing this. And I did the same thing Jeff did. I just Googled it and found this travel agency shortly after I joined that agency, they were having their first conference, and it was going to be on a second. You're right, second conference. My first conference for them, and it was going to be on a Disney cruise, and I had never been on a Disney cruise. Well, our kids were little, so I couldn't leave them. So my husband got to stay home with them, and I said to my sister, "Hey, I want to go to this. Really want to go to this conference, but I'm kind of nervous to go alone. Will you come with me?" And she did, and we went on the Disney Wonder, and that's how I met Jeff. And that's how Key to the World came to be.
Isn't that when you met Dan, too, when he picked her up on a motorcycle?
No, that I thought about it the other day, and that was actually the second conference I went to, and that was the one we went to that was on the Disney Dream.
Oh, yeah, where your other sister came,
And
too.
yes, when we got home from that conference, she hadn't said a word to us. And we come out, we're in the airport, we're getting our bags, and Kendra says goodbye to us.
Here
and we
comes
see
Marlon Blando to pick her up.
We
on his
see her
motorcycle.
get on the back of this motorcycle, and we're like, what just happened? We didn't have to actually even meet Dan that day. He just picked her up on his motorcycle and took off. And we were all
Later, boomers.
we're all left standing around going, wait, what? I don't even know how her luggage got home.
I brought a chase car to take the bag for me.
Wow.
I don't think she knew that I was picking her up on the bike either.
That's pretty rad.
Oh,
dude.
she knew that you were picking her up, though.
Yeah. I showed up on the motorcycle with a leather jacket and her own motorcycle helmet for her.
Yep. And we were, I guess she wasn't
really
ready to introduce you to it yet.
like Steve Martin's dentist character from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes. I'm a motorcycle dentist. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and then I got into the travel industry because of a little thing I like to call nepotism.
What?
Nice.
That's
Nothing wrong with
surely
that.
not. Surely
one
not.
day Heather said, "Hey, why aren't you a travel agency? You really like this Disney, or a travel agent? You really like this Disney stuff." I was like,
I didn't even know that about you when we first met, and even I think you'd been married to my sister for a couple of years before I realized what a huge Disney fan you were and know your stuff about the parks, and we're always offering additional tips. And I finally just said, you need to be a travel agent.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jess?
So for me, I took some time off to do the stay-at-home dad thing, take care of my son before he started school. And then school started, and I realized I did not want to go back to the real workforce. And so I had, planned many of my own Disney trip and knew from podcasts and things like that you could actually possibly make that into a job. So I did a lot of research. I made a list, and at the very top of that list was an agency other than the one that I'm with now. But number 2 on that list was Key to the World Travel.
We were number 2.
You guys are number 2.
Been a big pile of number 2.
Yeah, the first one on that list was actually you guys' former agency.
Interesting.
I put in an application with them and waited a week and didn't hear a single thing back.
They'll never hire you.
I applied then with my number 2, you guys, and heard back from you guys immediately and was hired within a week of putting in the application. And then the day after that, I finally heard back from my first choice and, had to tell them too late.
You
Sorry.
said, suck it.
Yep. Sorry. And I'm very, very happy that they took their sweet ass time.
Oh, yeah, because I could tell you right now, you
Culturally
would not
speaking,
fit in there.
I lucked out.
Great people and a great
Yes.
company. It's off to Neverland, but their company culture is entirely different than ours.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
It's
feel
a little more dry.
I feel like I found my fit, so I'm very happy here. So, yeah.
I'm
glad
to
I'm
be
doing it.
your number 2, Jess.
I'm honest.
we've got a pair of questions here that follow another a little bit of a trend here. So let's listen to this.
Hi, this is Amanda from North Carolina, and my question is for everybody. I have been dreaming of an Adventures by Disney vacation lately, and I'm curious, what is your dream Adventures by Disney vacation? Which of the itineraries would you love to take? Can't wait to hear.
Japan.
Hi, this is
Japan, yeah.
Alabama. I have followed your adventures, and I would love to know more about Adventures by Disney and what your favorite thing you've done on an Adventures by Disney trip is. I'm so excited about going on my own, and I can't decide which one. Thanks.
Ooh, that's also a good question.
My dream one is definitely the Japan itinerary because I don't feel comfortable showing up in Japan and navigating my.
I know.
That's kind of how I want to do my first trip to Japan is do it with Adventures by Disney.
You mean when you move there?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
just not buying a ticket home. So
okay,
introduction with the Adventures by Disney trip.
That's a great way.
And I've looked at
Release me
their
into the wild.
excursions for that Japan trip. Look great.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Samurai Museum and play with samurai swords.
Oh yeah. They let you gut a man.
I think that's an upsell.
It's Adventures by Disney. You pay a premium for that.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
It's a cast member, and they're all so happy to do it.
Yeah.
Their excursions are,
And then they point to the ambulance
great.
with 2 fingers.
That's a magical blow you took. Thank you.
Their excursions are so fantastic. We've done so many cool things on Adventures by Disney. What's your favorite excursion that we've done?
The speedboat ride on the Thames.
Yes.
In
Pretending
London.
to be James Bond.
They called it this speedboat ride, and I didn't know anything about it. So we go and we get on it, and it's like, it's a sightseeing tour. So they went up into the central part of London there, where the river is less wide, and apparently that's a no-wake zone. So they explained all the buildings around you, and here's Big Ben, and here's that, and here's the big Ferris wheel and all that stuff, which is cool. I love those kind of architectural tours anyway, but I was thinking this is not so high speed. And then they work their way back the other way and get into where it opens up into the bay, and they hauled ass. It was amazing. They took off. They're playing loud music like "We Will Rock You" and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they played the James Bond theme at one point, like we were on
Impossible.
a chase. Yeah,
you're just cruising. Woo! And then the other boat, there were 3 boats worth of us, and they were jumping each other's wake and stuff.
Yes,
it's just amazing.
Was intense.
And it had these big handlebars. You had to hang on because you'd flip right on out. It was so fun. That was so amazing. I looked it up after. If you did that, not with Adventures by Disney, it was fairly inexpensive. It's only like $45, I think, for the hour. And anybody in London should do that.
I would definitely go do that one again.
Mm-hmm.
Another favorite of mine, it actually was that same trip, and I didn't think I was going to have fun. And it was it was on our way out to Windsor, and we stopped at this estate where we were going to do archery. And I'm like, I've shot a bow and arrow. This is going to be dumb. And it was so much fun. We had a great time.
She thought it was so fun because she's really good at that. And had no idea. She won. She beat everybody in it.
Yeah, that at one point they had this Roman soldier like way off in the distance, and
like 300 yards away.
They demonstrate how medieval archers would do it, and they're like, no one can ever hit
these
this
crazy. They had these huge longbows for that, and whoever could get closest to this soldier would win. Well, she hit the dang thing.
Got him in the head.
Like, no one ever hits this thing.
That was fun. And we did another. That whole day was fun. We went to Windsor, which is a beautiful little town, and we decided not to go do the tour inside Windsor Castle to see.
I just wanted to walk around and take pictures.
Stuff. Yeah, just walked around the little town. We made scones in the room where Prince Charles and Camilla got married.
That's the thing
Windsor.
with Adventures by Disney is they'll do things that on paper you're like, that sounds lame, and I don't want to do that. Like the other thing was we went to visit. What was that castle thing in France?
Versailles.
The palace at Versailles. And they were like riding a bike at Versailles. I'm like,
he's like, I don't want to ride a bike.
I want to do that. Greatest day of my life. It really was so so fun. Like when else are you just riding your bike around the grounds of this amazing castle? It was a lovely little flat ride, and it was just like so cool.
I had been to Versailles several times, and that was the best. Like the other times, I was usually taking people who wanted to see inside. And I mean, it's like...
The inside is hot and crowded.
It's boring. But outside on the grounds, it's just biking around. Or you could have gotten a rowboat and row in the little canoe. Yeah, that's all. Every single trip, they have just unique things.
You did the backstage magic...
Yeah, touring Imagineering, and specifically seeing the model room where they keep all of the busts and models that they use for the animatronics and things like that. That was phenomenal. It was really amazing to see Walt's apartment, but to actually go, I've never been able to go behind the scenes of anything.
You cried like a little girl when we were in Walt's apartment.
I did. I also cried on the bus because we watched Saving Mr. Banks.
Yes.
On the way there, I was like, you guys are priming me to just cry.
They really know
day.
how to prime that pump.
Yeah.
That's a really good itinerary because it's all stuff they own. There's a lot, no one else can just go to Imagineering and get a tour.
Yeah.
You just can't do that.
Yeah, that was
all
amazing.
my friends and family love every time anything comes up about him. I've been there. Hey, I stood right there.
The Imagineering story.
Oh yeah, when we watched that,
I've been in that room.
Yeah, my wife and son were very tired of hearing that. I was like, I
interview Marty Sklar, and he's sitting in that room that Jess was just discussing.
Yeah.
And like, hey, I've been right there.
I've been there a bunch of times.
We know.
I hope to someday get to go on that itinerary.
You got to do it.
That sounds
Which
amazing.
And they let you eat at Flo's on that.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Actually, because of our incident, they no longer take you on to Flo's. Like they stopped.
we brought about real change. Okay,
Yeah.
that's worth it.
That's right.
Which itinerary do you think you would do, Dan?
I really want to do that backstage, the Disneyland short one.
I think you would also like the Arizona and Utah tour of all the red rocks.
Any of the American West ones, that one, or there's the
It looks like
Yellowstone
the thing
one.
you're sitting in front of. Right now.
Yes.
Wyoming, you can go fly fishing.
Yeah, or do it in the.
I don't want to fish for flies.
I know.
I'd rather fish
The
for
bait
fish.
must be tiny.
Very tiny.
Little tiny fishing rods.
All right, man. This Brittany must be really curious because she's got another question for us.
Hi, this is Brittany from Kentucky, and I just wanted to know what is the one thing that you cannot leave home without? What is the first thing that you pack before you take a vacation?
Ooh.
My wife and kids, am I right, guys?
No, you're wrong.
No, because I travel a hell of a lot without them.
I never take your wife and kids anywhere.
For me, it's enough underwear for 4 times the amount I'm staying.
You really think you're going to have some
This dude
blowouts
packs
just
like he's got
every day?
diarrhea.
I took one trip where I forgot to pack any underwear at all. And ever since then, I
That's the first
start
thing.
packing at like 2 months ahead of time, and it starts with the underwear. And then I'm like, geez, I got to buy another package just to pack. You just plan to poop yourself like 3 times a day. You'll be fine. And you know what? If you're eating flows, then
I have to pack my CPAP machine because if I forget that, like the rooms on either side of me, everyone in the hotel is going to be upset with me.
I'm setting off alarms.
I'm trying to think if there's something that I feel like I can't live without.
Your inhaler.
My inhaler, yeah, that's true. Now I travel with 4 or 5 of them.
Yep, just like Jess's underwear.
Yep.
Double fisted.
I travel so much that I have basically I have a whole set of toiletries
Me too.
and my separate makeup bag. Everything is always ready, and those are probably
always ready.
Yeah, those are probably the first things. I just toss those. Yeah.
Just in case you've had enough, huh?
Yeah.
Just walked off into the sunset, but he had a bag.
My little my little pouch full of full size things like a bottle of ibuprofen and a bottle of Claritin and stuff like that I keep in my suitcase so that I can replenish my smaller day bag. Yeah, Imodium. All the stuff you think that you're never going to need, but then you're in a hotel and you can't find
Jess, if
Imodium.
you just packed Imodium, you wouldn't need so much underwear.
Exactly. Imodium and Alka-Seltzer. And
You're acting like me pooping my
So-
pants is not a choice.
As long as you've got a backup pair of drawers.
I'm on vacation. I do what I want.
As long as you're not hurting anybody else, I guess that's fine. Erin's got another question for us.
Hi, Gold Key Adventure Society. This is Erin from Colorado, and my question is, what is your favorite lobby bar or hotel bar anywhere in the world? From anywhere you've been, what's your favorite? Thanks. Bye.
Oh, so many good lobby bars.
I really like the lobby bar at the Sapphire Falls, the rum bar. I can't remember the name of that.
Strongwater Tavern.
I'm going to go probably a little loose with the rules for a lobby bar, but technically Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar is a lobby bar.
Yeah,
and it
that's
is
true.
probably my favorite bar in the world, so that has to be it. Yeah.
I think I have 2. There is it's the lobby bar at the Grand at Moon Palace in Cancun.
Gorgeous.
Yes, so beautiful, and really, really friendly bartenders and all the tequila you could drink. And then the Hilton Paris Opera in Paris. Loved that lobby bar. It was gorgeous.
Needs an air conditioner.
Yes, that was my caveat. It was always too hot in there because the French are weird about feeling cold.
Mm-hmm.
And they will turn on the heat in the summer, and it drives me insane.
They're also weird about deodorant. So
yeah, that's the part, right? But it's just their way that they say it is, it is too fresh. It's too fresh in here. They're cold. Like, come on.
I've never found that to be a bad thing.
Let's not turn on the heater in August in Paris.
Stale it up a little bit. Why don't we?
Yeah. But it was a really beautiful bar, and they had some fantastic drinks on the menu. Really high ceilings and mirrors on the beautiful old, Louis XIV
The
mirrors.
Coronado Springs, that new tower in the Despacito Tower there.
Yes.
That bar, that lobby bar is gorgeous with the soaring ceilings and all that, and 100 different kinds of gin. That's a great.
Yes, there's the gin and tonic menu.
I kind of forget that's a lobby bar because it's down. There's not really a proper lobby in the hotel, but you go down into this bar, and that's amazing.
I'd like to turn the tables a little bit and ask Erin a question, since she was so nice to send one in for us. I would just like to know, Erin, why don't you like us? We just want to make you laugh.
Poor Kermit.
Are you soulless?
Poor Kermit. Erin hates Kermit the Frog.
The answer to the last question is probably yes.
Kermit would love to hang out at a lobby bar with you.
I'll take a grasshopper, bartender. No, not the drink.
I don't know who you are,
but I will find you.
I have a very particular set of skills.
This is I've got an email question from our good friend and fan, Zach.
Oh, yay.
And Zach wants to know, what is everybody, and he's going to explain what this means. What is everybody's favorite unsellable moment for a Disney park? For example, his favorite thing to do at Walt Disney World is to enjoy Main Street, USA at night. The popcorn lights, music, and smells of the ice cream parlor, confectionery, and the popcorn carts aren't things that you'll find listed as attractions on the maps, but it's his favorite
I see
thing.
where he's going with this. Yeah.
Honestly, people watching for me.
Yes. That is a good one.
When my feet were hurting so bad, I would just send the rest of the group off to do fun activities, and I would like to just sit on a park bench there. There's few and far between now, but a park bench around the Main Street area of Disney World and just watch crowds go by.
Watching it all unfold.
I'll put together in my head who they are and where they come from and what their relationship is. I'm sure it's never right, but it's just fun. I love watching people. And I love watching
for me,
dads
it kinda
just being jerks.
Oh, yeah. Dad rage.
Yeah.
For me, it kind of goes along with that. It's the storytelling of a Disney park or a Disneyland or just like a sort of an area of a Disney. There is a story always being told throughout almost every inch of wherever you're at. And you have to sort of pay attention to pick up on that story. It's easy to walk in and be like, hey, we're in like a fantasy, some sort of castle area. But you have to look for the details. And you can find so many different stories being told just throughout theming.
And then they do it with every aspect of theming, from the sounds to the smells to the visuals. And
it's subliminal sometimes. Yeah.
And similar to what Zach said, I think just kind of experiencing almost every land at dusk or at nighttime. New Orleans Square at Disneyland. I mean, when they turn on the neon at Cars Land.
That is amazing.
Just sit back and enjoy that.
Epcot at sunset is gorgeous.
Yeah, Epcot at sunset. I love Dumbo's circus area at dusk when they start turning on the popcorn lights back there and the golden sunlights coming through, and it's just a really, no matter what you think of the rides in that area, it's just a really
it's beautiful scenes back there. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Rapunzel's potty at night.
Yes, with those lanterns and all, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
And you can smell the air freshener from the shitter. It's magical.
What does it smell like?
Air freshener on a shitter.
No, but what would Rapunzel? What scent would Rapunzel pick for her air freshener?
Perk Plus.
Pancake, yeah.
Pert.
Pert, I do.
Mane and tail.
Jesus, Pert. She gets it from Cabana Bay Beach Hotel.
Alberto VO5.
Okay, I've got a question from Tiffany coming up next.
Hi, this is Tiffany from Plymouth, Massachusetts. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
Love it. If Jeff could share some of his tips for visiting the Louvre Museum in Paris. Thank you so much.
I do have a tip. So don't go there. Speaking of itineraries on Adventures by Disney, that was the first thing they had us do. And we took the tunnel from
the
London
Eurostar.
over to, and we couldn't see fish though in the tunnel. I was a little bit disappointed that we were under the English Channel, but I couldn't see a single fish. But as soon as you arrive in Paris, you go from the train station onto a bus, and that bus goes right to the Louvre and right inside the hottest, most crowded place in the world. Like, welcome to Paris.
Yeah, because we were there in
August. The museum. I don't know. I don't care about old paintings anyway. That would not be on my list of things to ever go back to. I'm glad I did it.
Better.
Yeah, the area around there is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And honestly, it was just so hot, and that's not a good intro to Paris. Some sort of walking tour of the outside of it,
particularly in July and August.
To that was not great.
Every tourist in the Western Hemisphere is in the Louvre in July and August, and it's hot.
That trip, that was a year ago today that we were on that, because it came up, or 2 years ago today.
2 years. Mm-hmm.
That came up in my memories
Mine
of
too.
today, and it was pictures of 1,000 people crowded around the little Mona Lisa. And in this room, it's a giant room, there's 1,000 people crowded around this one tiny painting that's alone on a wall.
That's not even that good.
And the other 3 walls have amazing, much more beautiful, substantial paintings everywhere. No one's even looking at those. They're all crowding around trying to get a selfie in front of the Mona Lisa.
We have a wonderful photo of our Muppet-hating friend Aronson was taken in the Louvre that really sums up the aesthetic of the Louvre in the summer.
Is she plugging her nose?
She's standing there looking just miserable. She's got a handheld fan pointed at her face, and she just looks disgusted. Yeah. Like, why are we here?
Yeah. I love Paris, but I don't care one thing about the Louvre.
Not the inside
Even
of it.
Even the other museums that had more modern stuff. The Louvre is so specifically pre-15, whatever. It's
yes. Go enjoy the grounds at the Louvre, the outside and the gardens that surround it, and the beautiful buildings. And you can just wander around and find all these really cool courtyards. But inside is...
It's funny that she asked me about the Louvre. I just was so vocal about hating it.
Or if you're there in the wintertime, then I say, go for it.
If you like old paintings and statues of men with tiny penises, that's the place for you.
And who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Speaking of men with small penises.
And I usually am.
Here's another message from a fan.
Well, hello. This is Herbert. I was just calling to wish my very special happy anniversary to my favorite sexy podcasters, the Gold Key Adventurers Society. This is my favorite place to get insider information for the trip of my dreams. Now, if I can just find some muscly arm paper boy. Hey, Chris, you know someone with some strong hands to help me in and out of the tub? Where are you going? Get your fat ass back here. Oh, shoot. Is the phone still recording?
I don't know who that is.
That's my neighbor Herbert.
Oh. I didn't know you lived next door to her.
You know, I've often wondered who listens to this show.
Yeah, we know.
Now that I'm seeing the caliber of people, it's not much higher than the caliber of people that make the show, so it's okay. But
yeah, I'm really starting to reconsider some of my life choices, though.
And now I see why we rank on the charts occasionally.
Occasionally.
A nice, muscly armed man.
I'm just saying, Herbert the molester isn't calling it a Joe Rogan's show.
He's Herbert the pervert.
He is, but Joe Rogan already has a restraining order against him. So.
Well, thanks for the well wishes, Herbert.
Yeah.
I'll send Wyatt over to thank you later.
And if the police call, we do not know you.
I think Wyatt might have aged out, actually, for his
I think so.
personal taste. So, thanks for everybody else for hanging out with us again this week and every week. It's been a great year. If you're excited to get out and explore the world, Key to the World Travel has a hidden Shaolin Kung Fu monastery full of expert travel planners ready to make your vacation dreams a reality. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com to get started with a no-obligation quote. Don't forget to catch up with our friend, the Theme Park Professor, for all the latest theme park news and tips at www.themeparkprofessor.com. Word of mouth is always the best way to help us grow our show. If you have a friend or two who you think would appreciate our special brand of globe-trotting jackassery, I'd really appreciate it if you could send them our way. Thanks for helping us celebrate our birthday and making our first year such a success. We can't wait to hang out with you again next week, and we'll see you real soon.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Don't go to Flo's for another year.
To ask a question or share your travel story, you can reach us by smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or send an email to goldkeyadventurers@gmail.com. And make sure you follow the Gold Key Adventure Society on Facebook and Instagram. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Key to the World Travel. For all your travel planning needs, visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a free quote and help planning the trip of a lifetime. Tell them the Gold Key Adventurers sent you. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Thanks to Outer Vibe for the use of their song Hoka Hey for the intro and outro of our show. Find them on Facebook at The Outer Vibe or check out www.outervibe.com for tour dates, music, merch, and more. We'll see you next week for another meeting of the Gold Key Adventure Society. And until then, remember, life is short and the world is wide. So go have an adventure.